Alright, this is my portrait out of brushes lesson. What you're going to want to do is create a portrait out of some type of brush in Photoshop. It can be something that you download, or this is just the leaf that comes with every Photoshop. So first thing you want to do is select your picture. It should be a kind of close-up headshot of somebody. I'm going to go over and right-click, duplicate layer. Then I'm going to play around with eventually doing image adjustments threshold, which is going to turn this into just a black and white image. This looks pretty good. If your image isn't great right away, you might do image adjustments. You might play with desaturating it first and then the brightness contrast. But I'm going to do threshold to get that high contrast black and white. You can slide this around a little bit. You want to make sure you keep all the major features. You want eyes, a nose, and a mouth. If I lose this hairline, that's okay, because I'm going to kind of have I'm going to get a little artistic with my edges anyways. I'm going to hit OK. Then what I want to do is use the magic wand to select the black. I'm going to click in the black and then right click, similar. This should select everything that has black in it in this picture for me. Now I want to make a new layer so that I'm not working on this background copy over here. So I'm going to go down, click the little post-it note. This is make a new layer. And now I need to decide my colors and my brush. For the purpose of the tutorial, I'm going to go to the brush. And the leaf right here just comes with photo. Again, you don't have to download. If you want to load brushes, you go up here, and about in the middle it says load brushes, and you can load something that you've downloaded. I'm going to click on the leaf. I'm going to set it, make it kind of large to start with, and then you can set your color. So I'm going to do a blue, and this is kind of a scattering. It's going to do two colors, whatever I select. So I've got some blues going on here. So I'm going to start by just kind of clicking around and making sure that I'm on my blank layer. That's very important. This is going to scatter, so it's throwing the little leaves everywhere. One thing you might notice is as these get really close together, it's kind of filling in and it's looking all blue. This is why I'm going to do a base coat here, but then I'm going to go back here in a second and switch this up a little bit. Alright, I'm only going to do this area here. So now I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to go over and make a new layer. I'm going to go back and pick maybe a little bit lighter blue. And then I'm going to make my brush size just a little bit smaller because I want to be able to see these leaves. There's no point in making this if I'm just going to turn the whole thing a blue. Then I can't tell that this was made out of leaves. It defeats the purpose. You want to be able to see that it's made out of the brushes that you chose to use. And sometimes these scatter brushes aren't the best for this because you don't have a lot of control, but it kind of fills it in a lot quicker than if you were doing it with something that just goes down one at a time. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to stop here so I can see what it looks like. What I'm going to do is select, deselect, and then I'm going to make a new layer that I'm going to drag underneath what I just created, so under layer 1 and 2. And I'm going to paint bucket this in white. Here's my paint bucket. Switch my color up. There's my white. And that's what my portrait looks like. And like I said, this, if you look at the original picture here, this is what I was talking about with his hairline. I could have cut him out first, but I kind of like this scattered look where it's kind of fading off and you can have some leaves and you can play around with adding a few more in here. I don't even need my selections made. But this is what your final piece can look like. When you turn this in to me, you should go up to File, Save As. Save it as your name, so I'm Jen Pierce. Oops, I'm on caps locks. Jen Pierce. And then call this Portrait Out of Brushes. If you did not complete this in the first day, save it as a Photoshop file, the very top one, and if you're ready to submit it to me, you go down and make sure you're on JPEG. JPEG, and you hit save. I'm going to save this on my desktop so I can find it in a minute. All these, unless we're going to be printing them out larger, let's just do as a medium so it doesn't take up a lot of space. And that's it. That's your finished portrait out of brushes.